Welcome, guys. So I know you've seen us on Facebook and Instagram, hopefully, and if you're watching this, then you need to go ahead and like it, because I know you've liked a lot of our other stuff. But we're here to talk about Trek, and oh, by the way, thank you for liking us. You know, yes. Even if you are our family, we still love you. But we're here to talk about Trek and just all kinds of things that interest us, geeky things, nerdy things. And we'll start off with Star Trek. I have been watching Star Trek for, God, how long has it been?
Since 2007, so 10 years. Yeah.
Wow, 10 years. And I know a lot of y'all have been watching it a lot longer than I have. And but Kara is actually the one who introduced me to Star Trek, and she has a more interesting story than myself. So Kara, why don't you tell us how you got?
Well, it's kind of sad in a way. It was 11 years ago, because it was 2006. I had gone through a really a grieving period. I had my first child passed away unexpectedly at a very young age. So I was in this mode where I would be in my apartment and I constantly had to have a movie in, and I didn't have cable or internet, so I watched DVDs. So 24/7 I had a DVD playing. And so I went through my whole collection pretty fast, and some family members were like, hey, we've got seasons 1 through 3 of Next Generation. Do you want to watch it? And I'm like, well, what is Next Generation? And why do I need to watch it? So I started watching it. Exactly. So I started watching it, and everything I watched before, it was there as background noise, and I kind of tuned it out. And Star Trek was like the first thing I really started watching, and the more I watched it, it just started pulling me out of my funk. And I only watched the first 3 seasons. I didn't have any way to watch I didn't have the DVDs. So,
this is 2011, y'all. This is before everybody had
2011?
Is that what you said?
2006.
My mistake.
It wasn't 2011.
My mistake, ladies and gentlemen.
It was 2006. And
you know, the iPhone didn't even come out until 2007, so not everybody, there wasn't all these streaming services.
Right, yeah, there was nothing like that. So that was 2006 when I was introduced to it. I met her in 2007. We were roommates, and I was like, well, you've got to watch the Star Trek. And that was when Netflix was DVD only.
And we had to pause it and buffer. And
No. That was Netflix streaming.
Netflix streaming.
But they did not have Star Trek on streaming. We had to order the DVDs.
Oh,
we got
yes,
the physical DVDs one at a time from Netflix. And we watched seasons 1 through something. I don't even know how far we got together. But then we moved apart. How many miles did you move away?
600 miles.
She moved 600 miles away. And so, yeah.
We watched Next Generation. And then before we could get it finished, I moved 600 miles away, like she said, and we ended up having to finish it on our own. And I was very skeptical about starting DS9 because, well, my friend was away from me,
right?
You know, and that's something we did together. So she went ahead and finished Next Generation and started DS9 and said, "You have got to watch this. You have got to watch this. I know you're skeptical, but you have got to watch this." So I'm glad she championed for it.
Yes.
So
yeah, over a 6-year period, we watched Voyager, and then I went straight into watched Deep Space Nine first, then Voyager, and then Enterprise.
And Enterprise, yes. And now, you know, we have this
and most of the movies I've seen. There's still some movies I haven't seen, but.
And, you know, we were friends before this, but this has really kind of, I don't know if blossomed is the right word, but blossomed our friendship, and we've really delved into it, and it's really kind of, I don't know why we're doing this now today. You know, this video that you're so gracefully watching. I really appreciate it.
Okay, way to suck up.
Well, you know.
But if you're the people that know us, which are probably the only people that will be watching this, they know that if the two of us are in a room together at some point, we are going to be talking about Star Trek. We are going to force people to listen to us talk about Star Trek. And people have said that, you know, one of her relatives said that we're interesting when we talk about Star Trek, so we wanted to talk about Star Trek and see if y'all thought we might be interesting.
Yes, and when there's so many people out there that we would like to talk to about Star Trek because, I mean, as interesting as you are, Kara, I mean, you know, would like to branch out a little bit because Star Trek is a global thing. I mean, everybody, whether you have watched any episode at all, everybody knows what Star Trek is.
Right.
And at least has an opinion about it, you know, and we'd like to hear about it, you know, and talk to people about it.
Right, and last year was a big year for me because I was able to go, last year was the 50th anniversary. I was able to go to events here where we live, able to go to something in Seattle, and then I was able to go to the convention in Vegas.
Jealousy.
So just being around other people, like being in a room with more than 1,000 other Star Trek fans it just like did something to me. And then all of a sudden now, within the past month, we are living in the same town again.
Yay!
And so this is something we've talked about for a while, thought about doing. Why not? We're in the same town now. So
yes,
that's
sir.
Why we are sitting in my dining room with our beautiful things behind us. We've pulled our collections and we are forcing you to look at it.
Oh yes, and we'll be interchanging things because we got some cool freaking SHIT. I'm just saying.
She's spelling it for the kids at home.
Yes, we are.
But if your kids can spell, don't let them listen to this.
So since we've started this new beginning of me moving back, and it's kind of, I don't know, revamped my love for Star Trek, even though it never went away.
Right.
So since we've come together again, we decided to try a new series that neither one of us have ever seen. It's not a new series for most of America and the world, but it's the Star Trek animated series. It aired on Saturday mornings, you know.
So it was, prime time, cartoon time.
Yeah.
It started in 75, I think.
1973.
73. Okay.
Yeah, and it was the first. What award did they win?
It was the first Star Trek series to ever win an Emmy, and it won the 1975 Emmy for Best Children's Show. So that's pretty cool. And I'd never watched it. I'd seen it on Netflix or whatever. I've seen it on several different streaming things.
Yeah, I'm the same. I usually just kind of passed it over and let me just watch another episode of Voyager or DS9.
I'm rewatching DS9 right now. It's so good.
It is. But so we did both watch this episode together, and
it was really good. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yes, it wasn't. Let's not make anybody angry. I don't dislike the original series. It's a different generation than mine, so it's a little harder for me to assimilate into. So we started with this one, and
you did there.
Yes, thank you. And it being a kid's show, maybe our small minds will understand it a little better.
I like when it first starts out. It's the opening theme music is a little bit different than the regular series. It's jazzier. Yeah. It's it's more catching. Which since it was a children's show, they were trying to capture the attention of children.
Yeah, make something you want to eat your cereal in front of.
Exactly. But I did notice something interesting about it. The main credits that show at the beginning, it only shows the 3 main male actors, which was Kirk. Spock. Thank you.
He's on your shirt, by the way, my dear.
Yes, live long and prosper.
And Bones, right?
Yeah. Those were the only 3 credited. There were the original actors and actresses from the original series did voice their own characters except for Scotty. He was the only one that didn't. Okay. Somebody else voiced the character.
We had Uhura.
Yep.
She was, but everybody was there except for
I think Chekhov.
Okay.
I think he was the same. But yeah, Scotty
What about Mr. Takei? Did we get to hear from Mr. Takei?
He was, but he was not in the main credits, I don't think. Now I'm going to have to go back and look. Well, I'm going to watch the next episode this week, so.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. The animation alone just, I don't know, it makes you smile a little bit.
This is the one thing I noticed. So like in Next Generation and Voyager, mostly those 2, when they're on the ship and something's happening and they're just like the whole bridge.
Everybody
is just like shaking. Like the people themselves. Well, in the animation, they don't have the characters moving, but they blink the whole entire screen really fast. And that was funny to me for some reason.
Well, they'd almost, you know how like in the old Batman shows and stuff, they'd hit somebody and they'd show on the screen the cartoon kapow, yeah.
Yeah, it was, they were going to Questar M17, which Questar, kudos to whoever came up, who wrote that name, because that's funny. And then they were, when it was the countdown, they were like hurtling toward this dead star that was pulling them in. And Spock is doing his calculations and he says, we are going to hit this in 93 seconds. 92, 91, 90. And he's just counting down. It's not like the computer countdown, it's just Spock counting down, and Uhura just busts in and just starts talking over him. And then a few minutes later, he just starts randomly counting down again.
And you know, you've said this before to me, but they use random numbers. And I don't know why it fascinates us that they use random numbers. You know, they can't say
2 minutes and 48 seconds. Something really bad's gonna happen.
And they can't say, you know, in 1 minute, Captain, you know, the ship is gonna collide. No, it's 59.9 seconds. You know, but I guess they're so exact in the future, especially, you know, Mr. Data and Next Generation.
Yeah, it's very, very exact. But yeah, it was an interesting episode. They encountered this really elaborate alien ship that was like 300 million years old that had been just floating out dead for 300 million years. It was a really beautiful ship, like almost like I think Spock compared it to the honeycombs and how bees build their nests, their hives and the honeycombs and all that. It was very interesting, but it was really, the coloring, and it wasn't the best animation, but I enjoyed it. It was really good.
Yeah, I did enjoy it better than watching the original pilot for the original series
We said we
with
weren't
the other
gonna talk
captain.
about that.
Well, it's not taboo. It's okay.
Okay.
She's on my shirt anyway. Can you see her? Isn't she beautiful?
Yes.
I did enjoy watching it though, and it was I have to say I did Wikipedia this because I wanted to find out more information. And you know, and you should watch this episode if you have Netflix. Go on Netflix and watch, you know, because it is worth it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's called Beyond the Farthest Star. It's a really good episode. Another thing, the transporter sparkle is really interesting. It's almost got like a rainbow effect.
oh, okay,
And it flashes a little bit longer than what the live action series does.
Oh yes, Okay, so I did.
Subtle.
Subtleties here. We're so
Hashtag
professional.
subtle. I know.
We're so
We've
professional.
been doing this our entire life.
Yeah.
Lives.
So I did want to say, and I did enjoy. I don't have as many detailed of notes as Miss Kara over here because that's not who Dee is. But if anybody watches Doctor Who, this entity that takes over the ship. And see, we don't want to give everything away because we want you to watch the show because it's an Emmy-winning show. Why the F would you not?
Well,
So,
not that episode wasn't Emmy-winning.
well, no, but the series itself.
True.
Your kids should watch it. So, if you have any. And, you know, it's okay if you don't. But the Daleks, I know anybody who's watched Doctor Who, the way they say, exterminate. This entity, I swear, that was the first thing I thought of. Obey. Because it would tell them, you know, you need to cook me some dinner. Obey. Obey. You will obey. That was my illustrious input.
Yeah,
about that
it's
series.
an interesting episode. And they're really short. They're like 20, 21 minutes. So it's really
They
fast.
wrap it up. I mean, you know, it's
And they
they
dive into the action a little bit faster. On a
They do.
live action series, you've usually got a 45-minute show or somewhere around that, and they build up the story, and then you have the thing. Well, this is like, no, we're jumping straight into, we're being pulled into a dead star.
And,
how are we
you know,
going to fix this?
And this is the perfect series for us, our childlike brains,
Yes.
to process. 22 minutes. I mean, our attention span is just over that. So
Right, because
Kudos.
when I was rewatching it, I was literally watching it in in 10-minute increments over 3 lunch breaks over 3 different days.
Well,
I couldn't even sit there and watch the whole 22 minutes.
oh my gosh, well, poor Kara.
Hey, I have enjoyable lunches. I watch Star Trek.
But we're going to continue watching the series episode by episode, and if you don't care, we'll even if you do care, we're going to do it anyway. We're going to tell you what we think.
Spoil the episode completely.
Yeah,
we'll just kind of give a brief synopsis, but that is the thing we've started watching together. So.
But we are very excited to start watching the new Star Trek Discovery that starts September 24th. I hope that I kind of wish. Hello. Did you notice the cut in it? Well, the camera didn't get charged. We're gonna blame Stinky, my dog. Oh my gosh, you ratted yourself out.
I know, I forgot to charge the camera, and it just like dies. Okay.
So we were in the middle of talking about Star Trek Discovery. September 24th.
Be there or be square.
Yes, and for the people who are in Memphis, Kara and I will be at the Rec Room. We're going to share the event a couple times, well, more than a couple times.
We will remind you until you can no longer be reminded about it ever again.
Yes, and there's going to be a party there that's organized by someone else, but you are encouraged to dress up if you like. But really, we just want to meet people, and you should too, because you probably need to get out, because sometimes we spend way too much time inside watching Star Trek, and sometimes you got to see the light of day, you know. You got to see that beautiful sky that Captain Picard is, you know, way above and protecting for us. So we are very excited, and some of the controversy, and there's the Klingons. I personally don't have a problem with the way the new Klingons look. In the original series, they don't look anything like the Next Generation, and there's in the movies and stuff, they've changed the looks and the makeup and stuff. But to me, what matters is in here. I know that sounds a bit hippie-ish, but you know, look at my hair, isn't it beautifully braided? But you know, I'm not conceited, I promise. But I believe that, I mean, the characters are the characters, and you know, it's just logistics, it's politics, it's BS. Just, you know, as long as the storyline, and for me, character evolution is important.
Yes. We are huge fans of character development on Star Trek, and how they have chosen to develop some characters. It's one of the main things I like about it, and coming as someone who likes to write myself, it just I don't know. Some of the characters they've come up with have been really, really good. But as far as Discovery goes, I have not watched any previews for it. I've only seen a few promotion photos. I try to steer clear of any negative press, articles, anything like that. I'm wanting to go into it and watch it and just soak it in for the first time when I see it. So.
Untainted.
Yes.
Popping that Discovery cherry as soon as it comes on almost in November. September 24th.
Yeah, and then especially Sonequa Martin Green. I am a huge, huge, huge Walking Dead fan. You will probably hear me talking about that show a lot. I love it, and she played Sasha on that show. I loved her as Sasha. I love her as an actress. And when I found out that she took the role of Star Trek, I'm like, yes, no. It's just like, I knew she was going to have to die on this show to be on this show, and it was bittersweet.
Yeah, and you know, we're also pretty excited for Jason Isaacs to be on here. We all love to hate his character in Harry Potter. Yes. Lucius effing Malfoy, who freed his elf unbeknownst to him. And I don't know, that was just the sweetest moment of Harry Potter. I mean, I know that was not what Harry Potter was about, but that was the sweetest moment.
Well, I mean, it's a big part of Lucius's storyline in that movie. Yeah. But it's, to me, when he played Lucius in Harry Potter, he went, you know, you saw him as this beginning, as this very put together, I've got everything I need or want. And then by the end, he was crazy. Like, his hair was wild. He was no longer. Yeah. I mean, he was no longer sleek and smooth like Legolas.
Oh like, no!
I mean, he was disheveled. He was like he was tormented.
He was.
That's what he was. And he plays that character so well. I'm excited to see what kind of character he's going to play in Star Trek because I have no idea whatsoever.
Yeah, we're going into it blind. I've only seen
Put your blind.
a few things here and there, but I'm like Kara. I'm not going to sit down and watch because I feel like that we're the same way with movies.
Right.
We don't like to watch a bunch of trailers because they pick the best scenes out of the movies, and then you feel like you've seen the movie.
Yeah.
And we really want to enjoy the show for what it is and what it's meant to be, and
Exactly.
Here's to them for bringing it back.
Yes.
Right.
Finally, some new Star Trek. Even though I rewatch the old stuff all the time, especially on my lunch breaks. My coworkers laugh at me now. It's like, what are you doing at lunch? Watching Star Trek.
I do think it's kind of neat though that the captain, Jason Isaacs, he's playing the captain, but he's not the main character, the star of the show.
Yeah, which is different than what they've normally done.
And I think it's really good as well that they're going to have some LGBTQ. I'm part of that community, but it's very confusing for me with my dyslexia to say those letters all together. So forgive me. Thank you. Such sympathy.
That was sympathy and sarcasm all rolled into one.
But I believe it's interesting because there's going to be, from what I've read, there's going to be a lot of different types of characters, not just what we're used to seeing. Although I am excited about Will and Grace coming back, and I hope people don't hate me for saying that. Only because I want to see how a show is going to do that's been gone for so long, because they're doing it with Roseanne.
Everybody's rebooting everything.
Yeah,
but when they reboot Star Trek, they come up with all new characters.
Well,
they'll bring some in. Oh my gosh, if they have Q in Discovery,
how wonderful would that be?
my life will be complete.
I'd love to see some Janeway.
I am a Q fanatic. Like, it is to the point where I have seriously considered writing Q fanfiction. That's how much I love that character.
I don't know if anyone has informed her significant other, but he favors Q a little bit. You probably won't ever see him,
really?
but
I know. Really? I don't know. Anyway. All right, so we've got something exciting in our travels far and wide.
Do you know how we know it's exciting? Because we
it's
just
about
told
Star
you.
Trek.
Well, and we just told you.
Told them what?
We told them it was going to be exciting.
Oh.
We got to bring the heat.
Okay, put the glass down.
Okay.
Put it down. Okay. Okay, so we have learned of our love of action figures.
Yes.
And putting them in sometimes inappropriate poses and taking photos of them.
Yes, and if you've been following us on HipTrek on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, you should know. And if you're seeing this now, you need to go to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you don't have accounts on those, go ahead and create those. And they just like us, and we'll like you back, and we'll give each other back rubs sometimes. So,
okay, so what we have here is a character from one of my absolute favorite. This is from Deep Space Nine, and it is Quark. It is a character we all love to hate, and this character looks nothing like Quark, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. All right, here we go.
Look at Mr. Quark. Look at those lobes, man. Look at the lobes.
So this is unopened. D here got it unopened, and we are going to open it because we do not believe in the sanctity of leaving toys wrapped up. They are toys. You need to get them out.
They're meant to be played with. I'm never gonna sell them because they're mine. Why else would I buy them? Except to open them and play with them as a 30-something-year-old.
I think the only way I wouldn't open something is if I happen to come across and have a duplicate of something that I had already opened.
And we have some other very cool things to unwrap. Oh,
this is an animal. Did
that's
have a pet?
Yes, these are the
is
pets.
It voles?
I don't know.
Or is that
no? Voles are the annoying.
That's Cardassian.
Okay, so I'm not real sure. We need to look this up. But if you remember the episode, it's in the first season, the first 5 or 6 episodes of DS9, where we first meet the Grand Nagus. That when the Grand Nagus, spoiler alert, 1, 2, 3, fakes his death. That was your chance. If you didn't take it, you're a loser.
You should have paused it.
So Quark is seen in his quarters stroking one of these creatures.
I remember that.
As Rom comes in and they're luring him into at the docking ring, and they're going to eject him into space.
That's so odd that they put that in there because,
Yes.
like, now that you mention it, I remember the episode, but I'm not. I don't
And
know.
is this the Grand Negus' scepter?
Yes, it is.
Oh, hold on. You must kiss the Grand Negus' scepter.
No, I'm not for
The Grand Negus' scepter. She wouldn't kiss it. Look at those lobes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But you know how we were talking earlier about the Klingons in Discovery,
Yes.
and they look different than the Klingons in past times. Okay,
Yes.
get over it. If you don't think they look right, then don't watch. But anyway, the Ferengi. There was an episode of Next Generation where the Ferengi, they encountered the Ferengi on this world that had the dry ice fog going, and the Ferengi were like these, and they were all bent over and just walking and moving very, very creepily. Well, then you see there are a lot of Ferengi in Deep Space Nine, and they're upright. They don't look like that, act like that. So the writers evolved the characters to make it a more interesting storyline. So they're doing the same thing with the Klingons here.
Yes. This is not off subject, but it is.
A bottle of alcohol.
Oh, I bet it's Synthale.
Synthale. Well, I don't know. It's Quark's private reserve, so he had the good stuff.
So and if y'all have ever bought any of these, and this is only interesting to me probably, but the Starfleet officers like Grandmaster William Riker, T. Riker, he comes on these things right here. That says Q, but But Quark, look, he comes with his own little effing symbol.
Yes.
And Miss Kira Nerys.
Okay, well, you're just really...
Look at the Bajoran.
I never noticed that. Like, I did not pay attention to that.
Me, I think that
until
is,
you first showed me.
I think that is very awesome.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's quite all right.
So what
We
else?
have the bottle.
The Synthale.
And a phaser, because, he always has the shady characters coming about trying to swindle him out of his latinum.
Oh, yes, because he has swindled them first.
All right, so now we can show them this. There he is in all of his glory.
All right, let's
Stroke
see.
his lobes.
What do you guys think? Does he look
like Armin Shimmerman? I doubt it.
like Quark?
No, he does not look like him at all.
Look at him. Look at him upside down. But those lobes, strokeable lobes. Don't you think? Now, the bumps, though, look correct. And he's wearing his traditional Ferengi garb, and his teeth actually are prettier on the figure than they are on the show.
I like when they show the Ferengi filing on their teeth. It's funny.
Oh, yes.
But no, I have to be honest, I'm not a fan of the Ferengi as an entire species. Quark grew on me in DS9, and by the end of it, I was super excited about his character.
Yeah, his and Odo's
Yes,
rivalry is just hilarious, and they care for each other.
And
I was smallest way.
I'm watching DS9 right now, and I saw this. I don't remember. I think I'm in season 2. I think. Don't remember what episode it is, but they had gone to. Odo was off the station doing something with Dax, and Quark was trying to do a shady business deal while Odo was out of town. And Quark went to the religious figure of the station and encouraged him to invite Kira's boyfriend from Bayshore so she would be distracted.
Oh, God.
So, like, Kira, what is the guy's name? I can't even remember his name.
I don't know. He's not the one I like, so.
Her first boyfriend.
Vedic Barile?
Vedic Barile, yes. Okay, so Vedic Barile came to the station, and him and Kira they went and played ball together, and then they're right in the middle of their sexy times, and he happened to mention to her that Quark had what's-his-face invite him to the station, and she jumped up out of bed and went and confronted Quark and completely abandoned Barile, and that was hilarious to me.
Well, it looks like Quark has been taken prisoner.
It's time for him to go night-night.
Yeah. Our friend Guinan has decided.
And on that note,
Now
we
that
are
we
to
have
the burning question of the day.
Okay, the burning question before we tell you that we've been drinking. I'm sorry. So, Kara, what's the burning question?
The burning question of the day is, what is your favorite, absolute favorite Star Trek series you've seen?
Do I have to go first? Or do you go
I
first?
feel like I've already answered it because I've been like, oh my god, DS9 this whole time.
So Kara likes DS9.
I do.
Would it be tremendously horrible of me to copy you? Because that's not what I want to do.
No.
But let me tell you
It's
why.
just that good.
It is good, and I have favorite characters in other series, especially Voyager.
She loves Neelix.
Oh God, she's lying. She's lying. She's lying.
I love Neelix.
Oh,
She does.
God. Captain Janeway is a gem. And
No, she's really not that much of a gem.
well,
No, I'm kidding. No, I really love Janeway a lot. I'm just messing with her.
and Kate Mulgrew. But as a series itself, its characters, the character development, the storyline, to be meaty as well.
Yes.
So it feels like a full course meal when you
Yes.
when you finish watching.
I'm so excited to see this new one.
I really am.
I really like the new movies. I love. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love them. They're beautiful. Like I like, if I can't think of anything else to watch, I will put on one of the new movies because they're just beautiful to me. I feel like there's a lot of more action and fight than what the Star Trek series normally would have.
Yeah.
But they're just so pretty. So pretty. And all the people in them are pretty. It's just,
Now
it's a love fest.
It is, and since we're talking about the movies, okay, I have a quest for you people.
And they did an alternate timeline. Like, they changed a whole bunch of stuff up because they created an alternate timeline.
They did, and First Contact. We need to get this one right here to watch it. She knows something in particular happens in it. And
no, I've seen First Contact.
oh, my mistake.
First Contact is when isn't that about,
When someone,
no, that's not the movie. That did not happen in First Contact.
so, as I was saying,
That's not right. I will prove it to you.
I'm sorry,
right here.
Nemesis, my bad. My freaking bad.
I've seen First Contact. I saw it. That's one of the things I did last year. They showed it at the IMAX theater here in Memphis, and I got to go see it.
So that particular event didn't happen.
No.
That we both know we're talking about because we.
And there is a reason why I have not
Or
watched
Vulcan.
Nemesis. And if you've seen
And-
Nemesis, you know why I have not watched it.
So we're not Vulcan, we're Betazoid because we just communicated that telepathically. Nemesis. Karen needs to watch Nemesis.
No, she does not.
And we need some help convincing her because some things happen and people who've seen the movie know.
And I know
something
what happens.
She knows
because
what happens.
I've read
and
about
she doesn't want to watch it.
I know.
And she needs to watch it because it is.
I don't
a
want
great
that
movie.
kind of closure.
And also, my Captain Janeway's in it as well.
I did not know that.
She is in it just for a few seconds, few minutes.
Is she
few
an admiral?
seconds. She's an admiral. She's
Very
Admiral
nice.
Janeway.
All right.
There's
so,
coffee in that nebula. There's
That
wine
was-
in this nebula right here.
Right. So the burning question of the day, what is our favorite series? We both have said DS9. I know that's probably boring to most of you, but not to us.
And who knows? Maybe it'll be the animated series before we're over with it.
I don't think so.
Yeah, right.
I do love the animated series though.
Yeah.
So the final thing that we're going to tell you is we have had libations, some wine, and we have decided to try a different wine.
Mine's empty.
So this is what we were enjoying tonight. Do you want to hold it up there? 19 crimes. Okay, you can give it back now.
I want to show that it's from Australia.
Yes, it is.
This young man right here was sentenced and moved to Australia, and maybe he made it over there and was one of the founding members of Australia.
No,
God
not one
save
of the
the-
founding members, one of the takeovers of Australia from natives.
Oh, I'm sorry. But it has been fun hanging out with y'all,
Yes.
and we appreciate y'all,
If you've made it this far, thank you, because We really appreciate it. We are still going to sit around and talk about Star Trek regardless of if anybody wants to hear us. But we hope you've enjoyed it.
Yes, and we will get better at this.
Yes, we will. I will.
Vulcan's honor, man.
I will charge the camera next time. I swear. And live long and prosper.
Deuces, guys.